Hey, how are you this morning? You're looking good. Glad to see you on Facebook and at thebraziltimes.com today. Looks like I got something going on with my eye there, but that's okay. Hey, there you go. That's better, Frank. Anyway, in the news, the Brazil Comprehensive Plan Workshop happened last night at Pappy's Barbecue, and there were 11 people present. Teresa Glenn said before the meeting that attendance might be a little bit lower than had been previously thought because of the Covered Bridge Festival starting today, and it does start today, and other things that were going on. There was a political meet and greet for Tim Skinner last night, I understand. But at any rate, there were 11 people there, and all of us were asked to participate by putting green dots and red dots on venues, for example, that would be appropriate to develop in Brazil, or red dots for venues that would not be appropriate. Hey, Phil Good's with us from Crawfordsville Electric Light and Power and the Crawfordsville Rotary Club. Glad to see you, Phil. Corey Seward's here. Jane Williams is here. That's great. At any rate, we went through and we marked these various venues and things like industry, strip malls, and things like this as appropriate or inappropriate. Not that they're inappropriate in an ultimate sense, but whether or not they would be advantageous, that might be a better word, advantageous to develop for the city of Brazil. And then the hardest thing, I thought, was that we were supposed to mark the big idea. We were supposed to write on a Post-it note the big idea that we had that would be the best for Brazil. And that was hard. You think about it. There's so many great things about Brazil. I wrote recently a column where I said, is there any better hometown than Brazil? And I don't think so. I've lived in a lot of places, and Brazil's fine. It does a great job. It's a great place to live. But when you think about improving things, what's the big idea? What is the big idea in your mind of what would be the best to have for the city of Brazil? That was hard. And then we had a discussion afterwards and talked about some things, and some notes were made as we are moving forward with trying to make a recommendation to the city council as to what should be done and not done. Gary Williams agrees with me. You're right, he says. You're right on with Brazil being a good place to live. That's right, Gary. I believe that with all my heart. Harvey's with us, Harvey Roscoe. Good morning, Frank. Or good morning, Frank, he says. Good morning, Harvey. So that's great. But anyway, we had a good time last night. Pappy's supplied some snacks and some soft drinks for us, and it was just a really good time. And then we also went over the information that was presented to the committee at the first meeting. And last night was a public workshop, but the committee at the first meeting received a lot of information to mull over, and we received that again kind of as a refresher. Ken Van Natty's here. Hi, Ken. Also, do you remember Lisa Withers? Remember Lisa Withers, the local lady who spent a great deal of time and energy searching for her siblings, found out who her mother was after much angst. I don't want to say anguish, but much angst. And she found out who her mother was. She went up and down Deming Street in Terre Haute asking people, did you know my mother? Can you tell me anything about my mother? And eventually, she was able to get in touch with her siblings. Some lived in Chicago. A couple lived in Chicago. Some of them lived in Florida. Well, guess what? They decided to come visit her. And so some of them got together this weekend with Cindy, and some of them's driving down from Chicago. Now imagine this. These people really haven't heard of the Covered Bridge Festival, okay? And we know what a big deal it is. But they're driving down from Chicago, and they come down State Road 59 to Brazil, and they're looking around, and they see all these tents, and they're wondering, what on earth is going on? I could just imagine what was in their minds when they saw all these tents in rural Park County, not knowing what the Covered Bridge Festival was all about. And then she has a sister-in-law and a nephew that flew up from Florida. And I got that wrong. The sister-in-law flew up from Florida. The nephew was from Chicago. A sister and a sister-in-law came up from Florida. But nevertheless, they're having a big time today. They're going to the Covered Bridge Festival today, and I wish them well. We came into the studio. We recorded an interview with them about their reaction to finding their sister. They knew they had a sister. They knew about Cindy, but she didn't know about them until later in life. But they are all getting along famously together, and as they said, it's just like we had never been apart. So it's a wonderful, wonderful story. Jane Williams. Yes, I agree, Jane. It was a great story about Cindy and her family. It's very moving, very moving. I did the first story, interview with Cindy before she really met them face to face, I believe. She hadn't known about them too long at any rate, and she talked to them on the phone. But now they have gotten together, and they all seem so happy together. It was just really a great thing when they came into the to the Brazil Times offices last night for the interview. So anyway, hope you have fun at the Covered Bridge Festival today. I know you're probably going to go. Gosh, it's terrible, but I just can't make it this year. I just I'm not going to be able to get up there. Yeah, that was sarcasm. I don't particularly care for the crowds, but that's okay. To each their own, right? We're all different. A lot of people like the Covered Bridge Festival, and that's a wonderful thing. Well, it's Friday. It's the pre-weekend day. I hope you have an outstanding time tomorrow and Sunday. We may get together here on Facebook tomorrow. Maybe not. We'll see what happens. And yes, Ken, I hope you have a good day too. And thank you. Ken mentioned that my wife got her cast off after breaking her wrist. And she's doing much better. She's doing her exercises and gaining some flexibility back in her wrist again. But I do appreciate everyone's concern, and thank you very much for that. As I say, hey, Clay County, Brazil, it's a great place to live. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.